Knicks family, what's popping? I'm back. Excuse me for the mistake. I started streaming when I wasn't supposed to be streaming. So I apologize for that. We back on and popping. We about to talk about this game. Still no intro, but it is what it is. We're gonna go ahead and get rocking anyway. All right, here we go. Let's recap the game. We got a video chat jumping in with us, going with us. We got a video chat here. We also got what, 1, 2, 3, 4 people in the video chat. So we're gonna go ahead and get rocking with the video chat. Again, I apologize for any mistakes earlier, but we back on and going. Hopefully, everybody in the chat, everything picks back up and we get going again. The New York Knicks, you just seen the New York Knicks lose to the Detroit Pistons as expected. I don't think there's anything. I don't think we expected anything different. We see some things from Dennis Smith Jr. though, so I do want to talk about Dennis Smith Jr. because I think we see some things from Dennis Smith Jr. that most of us probably enjoyed. Right? Most of us probably enjoyed what we see from Dennis Smith Jr. We've seen him score a good amount of points on good shooting. Be honest. Right? On good shooting. Good shooting tonight from Dennis Smith Jr. All right, but before we get going and really get moving, I want to thank you guys for being on with me. Tomorrow night, we do play tomorrow night, but I will not be available tomorrow night. I'm going to a friend's birthday party, and I'll be there all night long. So I won't be able to do the stream tomorrow night, but I'll probably jump on Sunday or something like that if I get a chance to, and do a little bit of a stream on Sunday just to make up for not being able to be here tomorrow night. Anyway, let's get to our video chat. We'll do a recap with the guys in the video chat and, see what guys is thinking about this game, ladies and gentlemen. I want to know how you guys feel, so make sure you put it in the YouTube chat. I'll be checking the YouTube chat and talking to you about that. So make sure you put it in there. I want to know how you feel about the game. I want to know how you feel about anything that's going on with the New York Knicks. We're going to talk about this tonight, and we are going to get down and dirty and have a good time. All right. So let's go ahead and get on over and talk to our video chat. We got Nate, we got Viv, we got Guillermo, and I'm not sure. Oh, Clem. Name looks like it says Clem. We got Clem up in the video chat. So let's get rocking and see what's going on. Viv, what's popping with you, man? How you feeling?
I'm good, Sim. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm real good. Real good.
Very good.
Give me your thoughts about the game, my man.
So I'll keep it quick. I'll let you go into the details. It's very similar to the game we played at home against Detroit. We started off really, really slow.
Right.
We came back in the game. We even tied the game in the third quarter, and then
in the third quarter,
and then we let the brakes, go. We just let the gas go, and then just in the fourth quarter, we just collapsed. So, it's very, very similar. But Dennis Smith Jr. He showed out. I mean, there's no other way you can categorize it. He had probably one of his best offensive performances so far in his young career, and it was very, very impressive. And I'm personally, I'm not as high on Dennis Smith Jr. as other people are, but he had a very good game today. And look, they got a back-to-back tomorrow, so hopefully the team has enough legs to play well tomorrow.
Yeah. Are you concerned about Dennis Smith Jr.'s legs in a back-to-back playing heavy minutes? How many minutes did he play tonight?
So he played 35. The problem I have with his minutes, and this is I want to tell Fizz, this is for Fizz, right? Fizz got to stop playing him full quarters. because he does not have the leg. I know he's young, but he does not have the legs to play full quarters. And in the second half, he played the entire third quarter, and he came back into the game with like 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And he was about to play the rest of the fourth quarter had we not been blown out by about 5 or 4 minutes left of the game. So he would have had 38 minutes, and you could see that he was getting he was gassed out there when he was missing like a lot of free throws. He missed, I think, 3 or 4 free throws in a row, and some of those shots that he was making earlier in the half and first half, he was missing them. He was missing a lot of easy bunnies,
Right.
and you could just tell his legs were just feeling heavy right now during that stretch. So I would try to be careful a little bit because he's young and he's had a little bit of an injury history. It's not worth it with this many games left. You want to get him to play every game, so I would just try to prioritize that.
Okay. All right. Let me see. Let's get to let's see what Guillermo's thinking about the game. Dennis Smith Jr. Everything. Guillermo, what's popping?
Yo, what's good, Sim? How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm actually still watching game, but me and Viv were talking about this, and it go with what Viv was talking about. So I think with Dennis Smith Jr., I think Fizdale's offense, and he's gonna have to bring some ingenuity. He's gonna have to make this a little bit more, not say complex, but a little bit less guard dominant. I thought that go what Viv is, and it seems like what he was trying to do was he initiates too much of the offense from the guard, right? Kind of beat your man, then get a 2-on-1, pass to the center or pass to maybe the guy on the perimeter if he's open. And of course, like Vivek said, that's going to put a lot of wear and tear on the point guard's legs. That's why the team seems to struggle whenever they take out Dennis Smith Jr., try to put in Trier, because Trier's not really a true point guard. It's more of a combo guard trying to masquerade as a point guard. He picks up his dribble a lot of times, gets stuck in the paint, and then is trying to pass it out and stuff like that. So I think that's one thing that we have to add more wrinkle saw offense, where, like I said, there has to just be a lot more off-ball movement away from the ball. Another thing defensively, I'll say Mitchell Robinson, I don't know what Fizdale's telling them, but they need spatial awareness, right? I saw in the first half, at least, a lot of times you're getting guys cutting underneath, or there'll be a dribble drive penetration, and then it will be like a weird double team where Zonia and Mitchell get stuck on one guy, and he makes a pass to the guy kind of coming in, or Mitchell Robinson would jump, and then they'll catch him. So I just think a little bit more discipline on the defensive end needs to be instilled with some of the younger guys. I mean, I don't think we had a good shooting night, at least for the first half. It doesn't seem like. But I'll say a good thing. I think Dennis Smith Jr., for what Fizdale wants to do in terms of having a ball-dominant offense, the Dennis Smith Jr. fits that. If he could just keep that shooting up, his dribble drive penetration, he's always looking for somebody. It seems a lot better than what he had with the Mavericks. And I think that Dennis Smith Jr. is such an emotional guy. If you keep his attitude up, I think he could follow so-called orders. You can kind of mold him. As long as you're a little bit clear with him, you're not kind of putting him around and having Doncic or Carlisle. Whatever they had with the Mavericks, seems like, emotionally he wasn't invested. But, I like what he did this game. It seems from the first half and what I saw in part of third that I watched so far, he didn't, try to do too much outside of his game. He took what the defense was giving him and he tried to do as much as was around him.
Yeah. Now, what you're saying about this guard-heavy offense, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that's going to change. To me, this is just the way of basketball right now. I was talking about this with somebody tonight, just about the way the game of basketball has changed, and it is just straight up. It's just so different than the way, like Guillermo, we're probably about the same age than the way we grew up watching basketball. It's totally different.
But you know what, Sim? What's amazing? What's amazing about what you're saying, right? All these teams have a guard-heavy system, right? But what team actually has the most successful non-guard-heavy system?
Who's that?
It's the Warriors. Think about it. I know I think Steph Curry is like the guy. He's an injured. But if you watch that team, Steph Curry and even Clay, I don't know. I have to go back. I have to look at the usage and look at the percentages. But their offense isn't predicated off of Curry coming up, sending off the pick and rolls, pick and pops. A lot of times he's moving around. A lot of times you have Draymond literally bringing the ball up and they're passing it around trying to get the open guy. Or crunch time they have KD when he's hot, he plays ISO. But a lot of times I'll look and I'll watch it. But a lot of times you see that offense and they get their guys moving around. They play off ball with a lot of with their guards. So I know what you mean, Sim. I know that's how the way the NBA is going. But if I'm a good coach, I'm looking at who's winning.
Yeah,
right. I'm gonna take whatever facets.
Yeah, but it's not even just the NBA. It's like basketball itself, from AAU to high school. Everything is guard dominant, and with AAU, with David Fizdale being a younger coach, obviously not in his 30s, but in his 40s, he kind of grew up with the transition of this type of basketball, even though he's the same age as us, and we probably believe a little bit more in a, I don't want to say a big man type of game, but a game that isn't as guard dominant. I feel like David Fizdale likes the AAU style of basketball, and that's what he's trying to implement with this team. That's which is the reason why Dennis Smith Jr. fits so well with.
Well, but Sim, isn't that the whole problem that he's having with these guys like Moutier? And because remember, there's no coaching, right? We talked about this, right? If these guys are coming straight from, even they went to college and prep, right? Most of their coaching came from AAU, right? And if you're trying to make these guys better, you got to elevate past that AAU level, right? If you want to make Moutier, you want to make Knox, you want to make, Knox is not a guard, but you want to make all these players who've literally had AAU coaching for the most part. I know you have Dennis Major, who's been at NC State for a year. DeAndre Jordan, you have new guys now. But if you're talking about these new kids coming in, if you want to mold them to be better, you have to elevate, right? You have to, and I know what you mean, Sam. Look, I came from the big guard era too, but we were also there in the Jordan era, right? We were also there with the triangle, right? We saw different types of systems based on the guys we had, because free agency wasn't as prolific as it is now, as it was back in the 90s, going into, I guess, the late 90s, start to get a little more prolific. So all I'm saying is Fizdale, he can't just look at what he favors. He has to add some genius to his offense to make everybody that much more dangerous. Because if I look at this offense, if I shut down their point guards, I shut down their whole offense. It's easy. That's why we have only 10 wins, because I shut down Moutier, or I let Moutier shoot 40 shots, and he's shooting at 30%, I win. It's easy to guard against that. And if Kyrie and all these guys come in next year, remember, Kyrie left the Cavs because he wanted also better coaching. Kevin Durant didn't like that ball dominant system when he was with OKC. So if we're so free agency, heavy, we got to look at the offenses that these guys have come from and take what was successful from there. And a lot of these places, it wasn't just ball dominance. So I'm just saying, I know what you mean, Sim, but we want to be competitive.
I hear you. Nate? What's going on, Nate? What do you think, man? What do you take from the game?
What's up?
I said, what do you think, man? What do you take from the game? What's what's your take on the whole thing?
So a couple of points crossed my mind. First one is, this is the first time we've seen this roster, what it looks like post all the trade deadline and all that. And I'll tell you what, man, I like this roster. I like this starting five. Yeah, we need to get Frank back and Moutier back. But I like the way Fizdale's doing the rotations, bringing in Mitch, Trier. I'm hoping Dotson kind of gets going. He kind of had that strong start in the beginning of the season. He's kind of leveled off, but it's his time to show that he can be a starting caliber guard. I don't know if he can, but I like the way they play. They all mesh well together. DeAndre Jordan, plays well at the rim. I think Fizdale finally got a point guard in Dennis Smith who truly kind of gives him what he wants offensively. Somebody who can attack the basket, somebody who can facilitate, make passes, somebody who can take the three-pointer and make it. I've been saying this, and I know there are a lot of Kyrie Irving fans out there, but if we can get Dennis Smith to play like this and be cheaper and younger, I actually think that might be better. I'm really scared to give Kyrie max money.
Okay.
And if we got Dennis Smith, who kind of can do the same things kind of Kyrie can, not saying he's Kyrie, But if he can do some of the same things he can and put up points like he did tonight, I mean, wouldn't that be a consideration?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you. What this is what we, we could talk about him, him putting up points and those type of and all of that, and that's great.
Mhm.
That's great. But what we don't know and what we will not find out within the next 30 games or whatever we have left, is he a closer? Can he do it in the big time, in the big game situation, right?
Right.
We know that Kyrie can do it. We
Yeah.
know Kyrie can do it. Can Dennis Smith Jr. do it? And even though the theory would be, well, we'll have other guys to do it. You know what?
Mhm.
Kyrie had other guys to do it too. You had Kevin Love, who, whatever. You had LeBron, and in the playoffs, Kyrie still had to do it. All right, that's
Yeah.
what we don't, that's what we wouldn't know that about Dennis Smith Jr. But I get it. I understand exactly what you're saying, and
But I also
know.
think too, Sim, I like his attitude. Like, yeah, he kind of got in with the Blake Griffin on that. They called a flagrant 1 foul on him, but he kind of has some alpha dog to him. Like, I didn't know that he was such an aggressive player in his mindset too, because he kind of plays like he is kind of like a Kyrie in his mind. Like he
Yeah.
can make those big shots.
Yeah,
He can take over the game. And I like that. I think that's important to see, especially in only a 21-year-old point guard. I mean,
yeah, he's definitely got that mindset. I agree with you 100% there. He's got that mind, and that's important. That's important. That confidence is important. The mindset is important. Go ahead.
and one last thing before you go to the next person. Mitch Robinson, man, this guy is a stud. I mean, I've never seen a center block so many shots at the 3-point line. He's got the highest percentage of blocks from the 3-point line, and then for a center, like over 4 feet. They showed like a statistic. I think they put up a statistic on that. I mean, this guy is just only 20 years old. He's just scratching the surface. Like, oh my God, man! I just love his defensive awareness.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
He's something else.
I'm with you. All right, and we got Mike coming to you, Mike.
Hey, what's up?
Mike, what's going on, man? Just want to get you some quick takes from the game today.
Yeah, I thought DSJ played great. People were saying he over dribbled, but I mean, the dude shot 60% so far. And I was talking to a Mavs fan. I was watching the game with him. He was saying he looks like a totally different player. He did not have this drive on the Mavericks. His defense is looking way better. He's hustling more, and he's always had the athleticism to play defense. He just never really had the motor as much in a Mavs uniform. And the problem I heard a lot also this year has been he's been playing shooter guard since Luka's been point forward for them. And he just, he's never used to playing the shooting guard position, especially being like 6'3". So,
Right.
yeah, that's one thing. Another thing I want to bring up, I think a lot of people are kind of criticizing Fizz's X's and O's right now. And, I mean, crap, if Greg Popovich is drawing up plays, we would have, 11 wins at this point? It's 10% increase, sadly, but still, wouldn't matter end of the day. A lot of these players, getting them in the gym, getting some relations, and Fizz has relations, and he's getting them in the gym, working them.
Yeah, I think I think it's just
Pop is a different team.
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit more than just the X's and O's, and we've been over this.
Yeah, for sure.
Plenty of times. It's about setting that foundation to move forward, which is all going to be wiped away this summer anyway. So, you know what I mean? Because this summer we're going to have a whole new slate of players.
Oh yeah.
Right. We're gonna have a whole new slate of players. So anything that you put in place right now is gonna be wiped away because we basically hit the reboot button. So who knows what our offense is gonna be or our defense or what our team is going to be next year. Who knows? One thing I'll say is this. I was at high school basketball game tonight. And, my home team, they're pretty good. And they got a point guard who's really good. The only problem with this point guard is that he's 5'3", but he's really, really good. He's really good. I mean, the kid can handle the rock. He's all out hustle up and down the floor.
Yeah, those short kids are good, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh.
Every single play up and down the floor, he's hustle, and more hustle every single play. Right? He's and I mean, he can shoot the ball. He can get to the rack. He can do everything that you need your point guard to do. The issue, though, is not really with him, it's with his coach. I don't want to say it's with his coach. I think it's more with, it's not with his coach. He has a very good coach. I just feel like the style of basketball that they play is a lot more freelance than I think it should be. Right? It's kind of like we're going to give him the ball and let him go. We're going to give him the ball and see what he can create. There's a few sets here and there, right? There's a few things that take place here and there where, they really get into some sets. But for the most part, it's, we're going to give him the ball. We're going to set a few on-ball screens. Every once in a while, there'll be some off-the-ball screens, and we're going to take it from there. Well, tonight they played a team that was long, right? Very long at just about every position, even at the point guard position. They had 2, 6, 7 guys, and it was almost impossible for him to penetrate. So once those driving lanes were cut off, guess what? There wasn't much that they could do. They didn't have much to fall back on. And they end up losing the game by 30. I don't know if the team is actually 30 points better than them, but they ended up losing the game by 30 because they just didn't have much to fall back on. So I do think it's very important that you have some kind of structure. You know what I'm saying? You have some kind of structure in place, even if you do want to play the freelance style of basketball. Even if you do and you want to give it to your guard and let your guard do everything, there's going to be times, there's going to be nights when your guard can't get anything. Right? Because let's be honest, if you play that freelance style of basketball, if that is your system and you know how to do it very well, and you have basketball players on your team that understand the game, they understand how to set off-ball screens, they understand when to roll, they understand when to pop, they understand when to flash, they understand when to cut. Your guards understand when to penetrate. Your guards understand who to kick it to and when, right? And your team just understands how to play basketball. You know what? It's almost unguardable because there are no plays. Guys are just playing basketball and it's natural. It's totally natural. So I really do get that. I really do get it. I really do. But even teams like that, when you get into the playoffs and you get into those really, really tough situations, you've got to have time. You've got to have some sets that you can go to that's going to be able to get you going and get you started. Because there's going to be times you're going to face teams where you're going to struggle. This is what happened tonight with that with the team that I was watching. They struggled tonight because they had nothing to get into to get them going. And he was, the young man, he was never able to truly get going. He wasn't able to find the creases and crevices that he usually does to dip the ball off or to kick it out for 3. And if we do the same thing, with Dennis Smith Jr., then at some point it's going to get shut down. It's what the Rockets do with James Harden, right? And we see James Harden in the regular season dropping points after points after points, killing everybody, and then in the playoffs, what happens? You got to have something. You got to have a foundation. At least have a foundation. Have fun. Have as much fun as you want, but know that you have a foundation that you can come back to. I think it's key. I really do. I think it's key if you're going to be a successful team. My man Clem, I'm coming to you, Clem. What's going on, Clem?
Hey, Sim.
What's going on with you?
I'm good. What's going on?
What's going on? What do you
Good.
what's your take, man? What's your take from the game? What's your take from everything?
I think the game was pretty much what I expected to happen. A lot of positives from Dennis Smith, and the way that he sort of looked comfortable, a lot more comfortable. I think I wasn't too pleased with the start of the fourth. I think Drummond had 4 fouls already. Casey started him in the fourth, and I don't think he picked up a foul in the whole fourth. I thought we could have, either gone to him a bit more.
Say that
I
again.
think if he just picked up 1 foul early in the fourth, he would have had to come out, and that would have changed the whole game.
Okay.
The other takeaway, a couple of players, I think Vonleh, Trier, they look, either it's, comfort level or some of the changes, but they don't look as good as they did.
Yeah, and you know what? That's the one thing you're gonna have to, we're gonna have to pay attention to, is that there are going to be, there's without a doubt. I mean, you have a honeymoon period with Dennis Smith Jr. right now, right? And that honeymoon period is with Coach Fizz, it's with his teammates, and it's also with the fans, right? There's a honeymoon period. It's just natural. It's gonna be that way. Now, and then you also have an adjustment period where, the players are going to adjust to Dennis Smith Jr. Now, it's a very good thing that you have DeAndre Jordan there, because he's been playing with Dennis Smith Jr. for 2 years. You got 2 guys in the starting lineup that's been playing together. Then you got 3 other guys in the lineup who've been playing together, but for the most part, every night look like they haven't been playing together, right? So that's a good thing for, really trying to help get things started and get guys in position. At least you got a couple guys that's been playing together. But it's a new team. It's a new team. When you got Dennis Smith Jr., Damian Dotson, Kevin Knox, Noah Vonleh, DeAndre Jordan. That's a new team altogether. If there is anything that Fizdale's putting in place, it's going to take time for it to come together. And it's going to take time for guys to adjust, right? Let's put it like this. This is if you don't play basketball, you probably don't know this, right? But let's say you're Kevin Knox and you've been used to Emmanuel Mudiay passing you the basketball, right? You know that when Mudiay passes you the ball, sometimes he passes it just a little bit to the left. All right, so you get used to catching that ball just a little bit to the left and then bringing it up and shooting it. You know when Frank passes you the ball, sometimes it's a little bit low. So, your body automatically adjusts to what these guys do, right? This is part of the chemistry thing. Frank Ntilikina looks you down when he passes the ball. And, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Yeah, Frank Ntilikina, I think, is, he's a decent passer. I'm just using this as an example. He looks you down. So, he's looking you down. Boom, he's getting ready to pass you the ball. Now, in comes Dennis Smith Jr. He doesn't look you down, right? He passes the ball. Maybe his passes is right on point in the pocket. You don't have to adjust any place, right? He passes the ball to you with maybe a little bit more velocity than Frank Ntilikina or Emmanuel Mudiay, right? So when the ball comes to you, it hits your hands a little bit different. Now, so you've got to get used to that velocity. You've got to get used to where he passes the basketball to catch that rhythm. That adjustment period, those type of things, those little things make a big difference. When you talk about shooters, scorers, all those things make a big difference. So there's going to be definitely an adjustment period. Some guys that play off the ball, you may see them struggle a little bit more until they get used to some of the things that, just get used to the tendencies of Dennis Smith Jr., right? They know, right now they don't know when does he drive or what situations does he isolate or when does he kick. All those type of things. They'll get used to it. You got 30 or whatever games to get used to it. See what happens. You know what I'm saying? Shinnok Shah. No, I'm not making excuses for Kevin Knox having a poor game. Kevin Knox has been having poor games throughout the season. I'm just saying there's an adjustment period, and we ought to, we should realize that there's an adjustment period, and understand that, players are gonna have to adjust to the way Dennis Smith Jr. plays. All I'm saying, and during that adjustment period, there may be times when players don't play as well because, you got to get used to some of the things that Dennis Smith Jr. does. Real quick, I'm gonna go over some of the box scores of this basketball game, ladies and gentlemen. We'll go over the box score. Then we're gonna talk about some other things going on in the NBA, in the Knicks world of the New York Knicks. Kevin Knox, since we were just talking about poor shooting, Kevin Knox tonight, 25% from the field, is 2 for 8 from the field, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 turnovers. And here is, I think, the argument from a lot of people with Kevin Knox. It's okay to have poor shooting nights. You're a rookie. It's expected for you to have poor shooting nights. I expect poor shooting nights, right? And I think most of us do. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Hit me a thumbs up, smash that thumbs up button, and ring that notification bell. Get a notification anytime that I go live. Anyway, you're going to have poor shooting nights. I expect it. I think the fans expect it. Your coaches expect it. But you got to do the other things on the floor, Kevin Knox. You got to do the other things on the floor, right? You got to get rebounds. That's going to kill me. That was a pet peeve of mine about Porzingis. He didn't rebound enough. And right now, I don't think Kevin Knox rebounds enough. Big shout out to Marty Knicks. Thank you for the super chat. Said like and sub to the best show on YouTube. That's without a doubt. Anyway, you got to do more. You got to get rebounds. And what I see with Kevin Knox, he played 35 minutes tonight, and he's going to play. He's going to play a lot of minutes now. When his shot's falling, he's in the game on many different levels. When his shot is not falling, he fades away from the game. And of course, this has been an argument about Kevin Knox since college. So this is not new. This is not new information about Kevin Knox. But I need to see him do more. Yes, Alwyn, you're right. He's 19. We got to give him some time. We got to give him some time. I'm with you 100%. I'm not judging him. Yeah, I'm not saying, oh, this is him. I'm judging him right now. His, bam, laying down the gavel. I'm not laying down the gavel. I'm just saying what I see and where I think he needs to develop. That rebounding needs to develop. He's got to get better. The hustle plays and doing those little things when your shot's not hitting. That's where I think he needs to get better. Right? He needs to get better in those areas. Noah Vonleh tonight, only 3 minutes. Goose egg across the board. He did take 3 field goal attempts, but a goose egg across the board. We're going to talk about Noah Vonleh. DeAndre Jordan, 14 points, 11 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 turnovers. Damian Dotson played 23 minutes, 10 points, had 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Dennis Smith Jr., very, very efficient night for Dennis Smith Jr. 31 points. He was 9 for 15 from the field. Listen, you got to love it when any player scores 30 points, 30 or more points on only 15 shots. Right? That's good, efficient basketball. And by the way, since he's been here, I think he's played, 3 games. He's been decent defensively. So, it's the honeymoon period, though. And obviously, we're going to start to see little quirks here and there that we criticize. But, so far, so good. He shot 40% from the three-point line. He may have had 40 points or more if he hit his free throws. Well, maybe not 40 points. He shot 57%, 58% from the free throw line, 11 for 19. What are you going to do? He had 8 assists. He also had 4 turnovers. Need him to take care of the ball a little bit better. Since he's been here, he has had some turnovers. But I guess that should be expected when you're playing with a new team. All right. Lance Thomas played 13 minutes, 4 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Alonzo Trier, Steven Perez. I'm sorry. Thank you. Big shout out to Steven Perez for the super chat. Should be go after Jabari Bird. Was released. We're gonna talk about players that because we're gonna have some roster flexibility. We're gonna talk about some players we should go after or whatever. All right, Steven Perez, thank you for the super chat. Alonzo Trier, 30 minutes tonight, 7 points, 3 for 9 from the field, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Mitchell Robinson, 11.6 rebounds, and Mitchell Robinson has been playing well lately since he came back from injury, had to get in shape a little bit, but he's been playing well. DeAndre Jordan, I'm sure, has helped him out a bunch. Still want to see him do better on the boards, but I can live with it. He's also had 3 blocks tonight, Mitchell Robinson. Mario Hezonja played 32 minutes. He had 8 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist. Kadeem Allen played 14 minutes. He had 7 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Luke Cornett played 3 minutes, had 3 points. 1 for 1 from the three-point line, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Isaiah Hicks called up from the G League because the Knicks have a lot of, have nobody on the roster right now. Isaiah Hicks, played 3 minutes, has 1 point. Right? The Knicks right now, we're going to talk about this in a little bit. The Knicks right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players on the roster and 2 G League call-ups. So we had, not 10 players. We got 2 guys who were injured. So we got 12 players on the roster. We got 3 spots available. I'm going to talk about that and what we should do with those 3 spots. The Detroit Pistons. Bruce Brown, starting small forward for the Pistons, no points. He played 18 minutes, no points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Blake Griffin, 26 points, 6 for 13 from the field, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Andre Drummond, 29 points, 20 rebounds for Andre Drummond. He was a plus 39 on the night. Now, I'm not a person who's really huge on the whole plus minus thing. But when you're a plus 39, that means something. I mean, plus 39, that means something, my man. Langston Galloway, once a Knick, always a Knick. Langston Galloway, 19 minutes, had 5 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists. Reggie Jackson, 26 minutes, had 20 points, 6 assists, 2 rebounds for Reggie Jackson. Luke Kennard, 12 points. 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Ish Smith, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Don Maker just got to the Detroit Pistons, played 8 minutes, basically had a goose egg across the board. Nope, he had 1 rebound. Guy Thomas, 19 minutes, 5 points. Zaza Pachulia played 11 minutes, had 4 points and 2 rebounds. Glenn Robinson III, had 5 points. Svi, I can't say his last name, but you know what I'm talking about. He had 3 points and 1 rebound. Jose Calderon, my buddy. I like Jose Calderon. He's just a cool dude to me. He played 2 minutes and he had 1 rebound and 1 assist. Quick look at just some of the matchup numbers. The Knicks were down big at the end of the first quarter, gave up 41 points. Gave up 41 points. They were down 41-22. Third quarter, the Knicks closed the gap. make it 32-22. By the end of the third, the Knicks were able to pull close. There was actually a point where the Knicks had this game tied at 82. Had the game tied at 82. They won the third quarter 30-26. And then, they laid an egg in the fourth quarter. They lost the fourth quarter 31-19 for a 120-103 defeat to the Detroit Pistons. The Knicks' largest lead was 1. The Pistons' largest lead was 23. The Knicks losers on the board, 46-39. And, that's what I'm saying, Kevin Knox. That's why you got to get on the board, my friend. Got to get on the boards. We need the help on the boards. The Knicks, 22 assists on the night, 6 steals, 5 blocks, 13 turnovers. Detroit Pistons, 24 assists, 3 steals, 6 blocks, 12 turnovers. The Knicks shot 40, I might as well just round it up, 45% from the field. They only took 78 shots. And this is becoming more of a trend. The Knicks, the amount of shots that the Knicks are taking is going down. It's going down. What's that about? What I want to talk about that. We talk about pace. People talk about shots getting put up. The Knicks, the amount of shots that the Knicks are taking is going down, and we're not a good shooting team. Right? We shot 31.8% from 3-point line, 63.4% from the free throws. The Pistons, 48.8% from the field, 43.3% from the 3-point line, 79% from the stripe. But why? Why are the Knicks? I don't know. Why are we shooting less? That's what I want to know. Why are we shooting less? Let's see what you guys think. Talk to you guys a little bit. See, we got some guys left the chat. I don't know. Did they leave the chat? Did they get kicked out? I don't know what happened. Viv, I want to see what you think, man. Why are the Knicks shooting less? We're starting to shoot less shots.
Oh, from the field?
Just less shots. We shot 78. We shot 78 times tonight. We were usually 88, 89, 90. I guess I need to go back and look officially look at the stats to see if we are. But it just seems to me this is just kind of off the cuff eye test, looking at the box scores. But if you go back, it seemed like a couple of weeks ago we were shooting more like 85, 86, 87, 88 shots, 90 shots a game. Mm-hmm. Tonight we shot 78. I don't know what we shot last game against the Pistons, but I feel like we're shooting less shots per game.
I think for today's game, what makes a huge difference is we got to the line 41 times.
Okay.
So that is probably a reason why we don't have, like, if you kind of normalize that, maybe that would add another, I don't know, 8 or 9 shots, so you'd be around 87 or so. Another difference, in my opinion, could be maybe we're not grabbing a lot of offensive rebounds. We had 10 offensive rebounds. I don't know what we average normally this season. Might as well check it out while I'm at it. Let's check it out just for fun. This year we average in the aggregate about 10 offensive rebounds. So that's not really much different. Now the other contributing factor could also be turnovers, but let me look at the turnovers. It's only 13. So look. Perhaps it's going to the line a lot. Maybe we're just trying to just pound it and just go to the free throw line. Maybe that's the reason why we're not shooting as much.
Okay, now, but I know tonight we went to the line a lot. But even in recent games, we've gone to the line a little bit less. We've had a few games where we've been to the line 12 times or something like that.
Right.
Just something.
Well, let me check last game. Last game we had 90 shots, right?
Okay. All right.
We had 90 shots and we had 15 free throws. So 90 is somewhere near our average, right?
Yeah.
And then a game against Memphis, that's when Dennis Smith Jr. had his debut. We had 74 shots, but we had such a slow pace. We only scored 84 points. Right. Then we shot less than 40% from the field. We had 15 turnovers. But I think just the pace of the game made a difference. Now, against, let's say, Boston, let me look at Boston just for the heck of it. Boston, we had 86 shots, but perhaps we scored 99 points. We had 17 turnovers. So it seems just like a combination of either it's in certain games, like today's game was just a lot of free throws. In other games, it looks like the situations that we just didn't, either it's turnovers or maybe we just didn't feel like shooting because we didn't have our, this is post-trade. Maybe it made a difference, but
maybe, yeah, and I guess it's just something that I'm gonna watch. 3 games post-trade, right? With 3 games post-trade.
right.
Well, let's just say 3 games with the new guys playing. They debuted against Memphis, right?
Right.
And we've shot 74 shots, 90 shots against Detroit, and then 78 shots. So just something I'll be watching. I'm just gonna watch.
Well, I'm gonna take this, right. So we had, this is the Miami Heat game, right? This is the game Frank got hurt. We had 84 shots total. I'm looking at the game before against the Nets. Now we had 87, so somewhere around 80, right? We average on the season. Let's look at it just on the season. We average a total of 90 shots.
We average.
Okay, so 80. We average about 89.7 shots a game.
Okay.
So if we look at that Nets game again, we had 87 shots, which, all right, that's what it is. Miami Heat game, we had 84 shots.
Right.
But we also scored 97 points. Now, the Hornets game, we scored 92 points. We had, how many shots? We had 85 shots.
Right.
We also didn't have a lot of offensive rebounds that game. And let me look at the last game. Let me look at, the Dallas Mavericks game the day before the trade where we got smoked.
Mm-hmm.
We had only 78 shots.
Right. So I mean, we've been trending down. If we averaged on the season 90, 90,
Yeah.
we're trending down, right? Because the last, 10 games or so, whatever, we've been shooting below our season's average. And, tonight we shot 78. It's something to watch. Is it because now it could be earlier in the season we were a lot more, do I want to say run and gun, trying to get shots up quick, right? Trying to run up the floor and get quick shots up. Fizdale said that he wanted to implement more structure, right? Put more structure into the game. Maybe it's that, and maybe the guys are thinking a little bit on the floor. And
yeah, that's what I was about to say. There might be subconscious about it now, where they're like, oh, we missed this many shots, so I'm not willing to take that, this many shots. Like today, right? This is not from today. This is from the other game against Detroit. We shot 90 shots, right? Well, we only shot 40% from the field, and we shot 27% from 3. So I feel like when you have those type of games, maybe you're just more subconscious in not trying to shoot that much. Now, the other factor, which will be interesting, is that, perhaps Dennis Smith Jr., he has the ball in his hands all the time. So that could also result in players not taking a lot of shots because either he takes it or whoever gets the ball via his assists will take the shot, or assists or, whatever. They will take the shot. So the ball movement may not be as more egalitarian in that way.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna come back to the chat real quick. I just want to get to this caller. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
How you doing, bro? It's JJ from Brooklyn. How's it going, man?
What's going on, JJ? I'm chilling, man. How are you?
Good, good. I just want to ask you a question. With Dennis Smith playing great ball, do you let that affect with how hard we go for Kyrie, or in the draft? Do we still take a Moran or a Barrett, or do you think we're playing all these minutes to help boost his trade value to be a big trade chip?
Well, I think that and this is a question that's been been asked a couple of times. I think we wait and see. That's all I can say. There's just not enough information right now, in my opinion, to say whether or not this is something that we do we do or we don't do. I just don't think there's enough information right now. You know what I mean? So I think it's kind of wait
it's a tough
and see.
call. I would still draft. If we got the second or third pick, I wouldn't let him. Make us pass on a Morant. I'd still, I think their idea is, have him as like a plan C if they strike out on Kyrie or if they can't get a Morant or a Barrett.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. That's all I can say is we'll see. It's going to depend on how Dennis Smith Jr. plays in the Knicks. For the Knicks in the last 2 months of the season, 3 months of the season, or whatever it is.
Right.
It's going to depend on that. It's going to depend on what happens in free agency. All of that. How things. Listen. Let's put it like this: if Kevin Durant comes and he says, the only way that I'm coming in is if you go after Kyrie, then the Knicks will probably go after Kyrie.
Oh, yeah. I think it'll be hand in hand. I don't think one of them would just call him, I think they would talk to each other and say, let's both go. You know what I mean?
So.
I can't see Durant taking that challenge, being so sensitive, not coming with another star to help him out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, it's a wait and see. It's a wait and see. But let's put it like this. He is a great player to have right now.
Yeah.
In the Knicks' current situation. As far as cap space and free agency and having a draft pick and all that. He's a great player to have right now. Just on so many levels. On so many levels, he's a great player to have. So we'll see how it goes.
He's playing great. He just got to work on that shooting, that free throw shooting. What did he miss, like 8 or 9? He shoots his free throw shooting is very weird. The way he shoots, he kind of like lets go with like one hand. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but it's weird. He's got to fix that.
Yeah. I noticed. We'll see how it goes, man. We'll see how it goes. I thank you for the call.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good night, bro.
All right. Have a good night.
All right, man. Peace.
Hey. Dennis Smith Jr. We're going to see how this experiment works out. Another question that I want to ask guys in the video chat. Moving on from recap. What's going on with Noah Vonleh? There was a point in the season where Noah Vonleh was seemingly our best player. Now, not so much, right? Not so much. It's been a struggle over the past few games with Noah Vonleh, and I just want to know from you guys, what's the deal? Right? What is the deal with Noah Vonleh? Why is he struggling? Is it just that point? Is it just a point in the season? Or is there some other fundamental reasons why? Or is it just, this is who Noah Vonleh is. Noah Vonleh, the reasons Noah Vonleh came to us cheap. These are the reasons that Noah Vonleh was trying to reclaim his career. Is it as simple as that? That's what I want to know. Or is there more to it? All right. Valid question, I guess. Valid question. So I want to hear from, listen, if you want to call in, you want to talk to me. You want to talk to the chat. You want to talk to the Knicks Nation. 516-405-2246. You want to join us in the Appear In. You want to be on video? Join us on the show. Appear.in/NBK. You can see it at the top of the screen. All right. Join us and talk to us a little bit about what you see and what you think. Have your word heard. All right, group. And I didn't mean to switch that. I dropped my keyboard. There we go. I'm gonna bring it right back. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. I apologize. All right, guys. What do you think, man? No Vonleh. What's going on with no Vonleh? All right, somebody tell me something. Gormo, what do you think, man? What's up with no Vonleh?
He's starting to show his overuse, man. Like I just feel like you said the other chat in another video, no Vonleh is great in spurts, and he's also another confidence guy. Like his 3-point shot is not falling anymore. You know, earlier in the season he was, I won't say he was automatic, but he was hitting threes, and I'm like, okay. I don't know, man. It's like I don't know where he fits on this team. You know, if he's not backing down a smaller guy and then doing that ugly, loop thing, whatever that. I don't want to disrespect Kareem by calling a hook shot, but whatever it is, I don't know. We don't run enough of the offense through him for him to get his reps. And when he does get his reps, you know, he's just, he's missing his threes, even though they're good looks. So I don't know. I don't want to just call it a slump. It's like a weird mixture between a slump and what he kind of is. I think back then when we had more of a structured offense, but it was kind of a, hey, just go out there and play your game. Don't be scared. You know, kind of hit it. And I think some of the trade rumors and, we see it team in transition. Maybe that's getting to his head. I don't know. I don't want to speak for him, but he just doesn't look natural out there. If he's not trying to hit a three or doing the hook shot thing, he just doesn't have a place on his offense. And he's not offensive. He's not getting enough offensive rebounds to validate himself being out there. Yes, Tim, I don't know.
Yeah.
Can't call it. Just
yeah. I mean, I'm starting to think this is just who he is. You know what I'm saying? And he had a good stretch for a little while. But
he has to do a better job at crashing. Like if he was a guy that could crash the boards, because look, DJ's gonna get boxed out, or he's gonna have trouble traffic down low. If Fizdale can tell Vonleh, hey, look, we still want you to make your threes, try to shoot 3 threes a game when you open, whatever, and crash boards violently, just crash boards. I don't care about you trying to go out and defend against the counter, the fast break. Just crash boards. That's all we need you to do. I just think guys like I said, guys like him, Dennis Smith Jr., Moutier, these are confidence, and these are guys who live off confidence and direction. And I'm not, the confidence thing, telling a guy to go out there and play a game might give him some confidence, but what gives him more confidence is guidance, right? And I think that a guy like Moutier, he has to be the energy guy. He has to be the dirty guy. He has to be your Draymond Green per se. He has to be a guy getting the dirty rebounds, helping to get, now that Cantor's going, getting those offensive rebounds to give guys a second chance. Crash boards, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's how I play him.
And the whole, I just wanted to branch off with what you said about Fizdale. And big shout out to Hotep Rel. Said, do y'all honestly see coaching from Fizdale? I don't see any kind of system. So big shout out Hotep Rel. Thank you for the super chat. Just touching on what you said about Fizdale a little bit. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because we talk about Fizz and his coaching stuff a lot. But when he says to players, just go out there and be yourself. One of the problems with that, to me, is that a lot of these players don't know who they are. So how can you ask them to go out and be themselves and they don't know who they are? See what I'm saying? If they don't know who they are, they can't be themselves. They don't know who they are. They don't know, these young players, some of these young players, if you ask Frank Ntilikina to be himself, and with so far in the league, he's been a 3-man, he's been a 2-man, he's been a point guard, he doesn't know what he is because he's been moved all over the place. So he doesn't know what he is. He may have thought he knew what he is when he came into the league, but he doesn't now.
That's the problem, Sim, with this whole idea of positionless basketball, right? You see some of the guys, and I'm not comparing Fizdale to these guys and saying that he's on their level, even though one of them, he should be on their level. Look at guys like Nick Nurse, what he's doing in Toronto. Mm-hmm. Look at what Budenholzer's doing. Look at what Popovich is. I'm not saying these guys are Popovich. I'm not saying that Fizdale's at that level. But what at the very top, right? Popovich comes in. He'll take something that, he can, he'll mold a guy and say, do this, do that, and excel at this, and then we expand your game. You know, you see these new guys coming in. You know, I hate to use Kawhi Leonard, but you know, we look at Kawhi Leonard now because of what he learned with Pop. Because coming out of San Diego State, he was just a great athlete and really nothing more. And I think guys like that, when you tell them to, hey, look, I don't need you to go out there and try to shoot mid ranges. I don't need you to go out there and try to take it to the basket. You know, guys, give me 5 or 6 good offensive rebounds. If you crash on the board, you beating a guy to the basket, crash those boards. Just do that on a nightly basis, and I'll expand the offense for you. Or I'll allow you to do this, I'll allow you to do that, blah, blah. And I'm telling you, guys, like you said, you know what he did? He did it with Moutier. People say, oh, Moutier, this is how Moutier's game changed. When he first came in, you know, as a new Moutier, he was literally driving to the basket and dishing out. Like, he was legit scared to lay the ball up into the basket. I won't say he's scared, but he was hesitant to lay the ball up into the basket. And he's driving to the basket, getting a double team to collapse, or getting a guy collapsing, dishing it out. And now I understand he's hurt, but now Moutier is more of a competent guard. He can score a little bit. You know, he still can play defense, but he can score a little bit. You see an identity with Moutier now. You know what his game is. He's going to drive to the basket, maybe facilitate, stop at that little turn around, you know, keep dribbling, and then hit that little mid-ranger or lay it up on a smaller guard. That's guidance. So I just don't know why he's not doing that with Vonleh, why he's not doing that with Hazonia. You know what I mean? It's just, it has to be consistent. It can't just be, hey, just go out there and play, because it's not effective. Like, you're not going to beat the top teams. Look at Toronto. Seacom and Pascal, all these guys. Those guys literally last year, you know, they were clay and they were talented, but this year they look dominant because they have defined roles in that offense. So,
Right.
I'll shut up.
Nah. I mean, I get it, man. You know, we'll see. I mean, it's almost, you know, right now, we don't know what's, I mean, you know, we don't know what's coming, you know, talking about next season. You know what I mean? I kind of feel like we're probably just going to wing it for the remainder of the season until we know what's going on for next season. We'll probably just wing it.
Hey, Fizzo, can I ask you a question? Fizzo, excuse me. Sim, can I ask you a question? My bad. I didn't mean to insult you like that. You ain't Fizzo. My bad.
Oh, man. Wow.
But can I ask you a question? If we get the free agents next year, right? You get a guy like Kyrie, Kawhi, or hopefully Kawhi, or KD, whoever. Say we get any combination of 2, or we get at least one top-notch legit star. Do you see Fizzo being here the next year after? Because I feel like I just don't. Seeing the free agents that we want, you want a KD, we want Kawhi, we want Kyrie. All these guys come from offenses that are eons past where we are. And I'm not just talking about in players and talent, but they're, in terms of what they do on the court, the X's and O's, discipline, way ahead of us. Do you see Fizzo possibly being pushed out to bring in a coach that fits the playing style of these guys? Because I can see that, Sim.
That's a good question. That's a really good question, and that could possibly happen. I think that's a really good question, man, because I guess at that point we'll see how, I don't want to say complex. The offense doesn't have to be complex, but we'll see how good his offense really is. And that's a good question. That's definitely something to watch for, because when you have guys like KD and Kyrie, they usually need someone, a coach. Well, I mean, maybe Fizz has it. I don't know. But you need a coach that's totally confident in themselves, right? That is not afraid to tell these guys no, not afraid to get in their ass a little bit. You know, because all guys got egos, and they'll run over you. They'll run over you. They'll do what they want to do. You got to have a coach that has some gumption. And then, like you said, offensively, they're used to having these, you know, these kind of fluent offenses, and, you know, playing defense. I don't know. You know, will he have it? I don't know, because this is, you know, everyone keeps saying to me when I see in the chat, not saying to me, but when I see it in the chat, you know, he doesn't have the players. Da 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 da. But you know what what I was always told and what I always learned is you dress for the job that you want.
Right.
You know,
agreed.
You dress for the job that you want. You know, and to me, it's the same thing. You know what I mean? You don't. A championship culture doesn't happen when you win the championship. The championship culture was already there. Your championship offense doesn't happen when you win the championship. The championship offense you developed along the way. The championship defense didn't become a championship defense when you won the championship. It was already a championship defense. You know what I'm saying? Your championship culture, you know, you got to practice like a champion. You play your offense like a champion. You put in the things of a champion, right? You eat like a champion. You practice like a champion. You have the discipline of a champion. You have the culture of a champion. And that's what's going to help you win a championship. You know, those things got to start beforehand, man. They got to start. Let me get to Clem. What do you think, man? Just capping off this Noah Vonleh. Capping off Noah Vonleh. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Guillermo. I think that's just 2 years. You know, there's a reason why, you know, he's been on a few teams. I think also, you know, when a player's in their contract year, a lot can play on their mind. Especially, you know, when he started really well, you know, there were some changes to the personnel.
Right.
You know, obviously he started next to Cantor at the start of the season. You know, he could sort of move out and focus on his shot. You know, I think, you know, being undersized as well, you know, doesn't really help him. You know, I think he does get bullied a little bit.
Right.
I think we've said, you know, on a good team, he's probably off the bench.
Yeah, on a good team, he's probably someone that comes off the bench and relieves somebody for a little while. Yeah, we'll see if he can bounce back. You know, we'll see if he can bounce back. And maybe it was, you know, going through the trade rumors and not knowing what was going to happen. And, you know, maybe, you know, the season is long and maybe he just hit a spell where, because he's been pretty consistent for most of the season. Maybe he just hit a spell where he's mentally, emotionally, and physically tired. You hit the All-Star break and see what happens after the All-Star break. That's what I'm hoping. You know, we'll see. Let me get to this caller, and then I'm gonna come right back to you guys, man. All right, caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
Hey, what's up, Tim?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. We talk about Noah Vonleh. Right? We talk about Noah Vonleh, and
yeah.
What do you think? What's up with him?
No, yeah, Noah Vonleh. I don't know. He's not consistent. Like, it's. I'd like to at least, you know, there's something you could say about Kyle O'Quinn. He was going out and giving you consistent effort. I mean, Noah Vonleh, I don't know. He's starting to shoot too many threes. I mean, he used to play lockdown defense, and I mean, he's not slouching on defense too much, but
is he tired?
I think he is what he is. My pet peeve is like why is Lance Thomas on the court? Why isn't Kevin Knox on the court 35, 40 minutes?
Why is he on the court 35, 40 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, the whole point of this last end of the season is to see who we're going to try to keep. Because next year, I mean, with the way the Clippers and Philly made that move and just the way everybody started clearing cap space, I mean, we got to see who we're going to keep and who we're going to let go. And Dennis, like, even with Dennis Smith, Frank has never had the freedom that Dennis Smith had tonight. Not in the whole year and a half he's been here.
Okay, well, all right. Well, listen. I'm going to say this, and you know, and everybody knows, I am a huge Frank Ntilikina fan. I like Frank Ntilikina. Right? I'm not afraid to admit that I like Frank Ntilikina, but I'm also going to be honest. Frank Ntilikina cannot play offense the way that Dennis Smith Jr. can. He doesn't have the same handle as Dennis Smith Jr. He doesn't attack like Dennis Smith Jr. Frank Ntilikina has his own strengths. They're not Dennis Smith Jr.'s strengths.
Oh, I understand they're
so-
not Dennis Smith Jr.'s strengths, but Frank got respect around the league, even as a rookie, for his defense. Not like we're just Knicks fans and love Frank. People were like, yeah, he can't score, but that kid's a problem on defense. James Harden, he bottled him up. I mean, he did some work in his rookie year in limited minutes with Jeff Hornacek screwing around with him. He, in the entire this season with Fizdale, you've never seen Frank just go out there and win or lose, or we lose by 20. Frank go out there and play 35, 40 minutes of hard basketball and get his butt kicked. I've never seen it. I mean, Dennis Smith Jr., yeah, he scored 31 points, but that kid was in there. He had to have played 35 minutes, and he must have taken 35 shots. I mean, I don't know everything, but that kid was all over the court shooting.
You mean tonight?
You've never seen Frank. You've never seen Frank once just get a game where.
But
so
Frank,
he scored 2 points.
Wait a minute. Dennis Smith Jr. took 15 shots tonight.
He took 15 shots?
He took 15 shots. He scored 31 points on 15 shots tonight.
All right. Well, I strike that from the record. I don't. Goodness gracious. I thought the way it looked tonight, it looked like he was going off. Maybe
he scored. He was going off because he scored,
wrong.
but he only took 15 shots tonight.
I don't know. Yeah. I guess he was a lot more efficient than I thought. But,
yeah, he was efficient tonight. Hey,
I just like to see Frank get that kind of treatment.
Okay, well.
Let Frank go up. Frank Smith. We're already losing every game we could try to lose. I want to see who's going to be able to stand at the end of the year, because we're not going to be able to keep 5 rookies, and plus bring in Zion and our second-round pick next year. Like, some of those guys are going to have to go, and
okay.
I don't want to see Lance Thomas. If you got to see Hazonia, because we got to see if we're definitely not going to re-sign him, but I mean, I don't want to see bum guys anymore. Let's just play the young guys. Trill should play 30 minutes. I mean, get him out there.
All right. Well, Kevin Knox played 35 minutes tonight. I'm going to let you go, man. I appreciate the call.
No, yeah, definitely.
Have a good one. All right. Kevin Knox played 35 minutes tonight. Trill, guys gotta earn it a little bit too. But with the way the roster is now, guys are gonna be playing minutes because you have no one else to play minutes. But I feel you, caller. But about Frank, when Frank does listen, Frank is gonna get 30 minutes a night when he comes back. He's gonna get 30 minutes a night. He should get 30 minutes a night. Right? On the offensive side of the ball, the way that Fizdale wants to play, is he going to give Frank the keys? No, because Fizdale wants to play a certain style of basketball. He's not going to give Frank the keys. Will he give Dennis Smith Jr. the keys? Yes, because Dennis Smith plays the style of basketball that Fizz wants. I see T. Williams said your point guard should be more of a facilitator. DSJ only passes when he can't score or put up a shot. I understand that too. I like to have facilitating point guards. That is what I like to see. I like to have a facilitator who looks for his shot last. What I'm talking right now is not my opinion. I'm just stating the way that I see that fit. Well, it is my opinion. It's not my preference of having a scoring point guard. Whatever gets the job done, I really don't care. But based on what Fizdale likes, from what I see that Fizdale likes, Dennis Smith Jr. is going to get the keys to run that offense before Frank, because Dennis Smith Jr. plays more the style that Fizdale wants to play. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? When Frank gets back, he's going to play 30 minutes, and we're going to find out what his role is. That's it. what his role is. You know what I mean? Ace Bezel said, Frank is dead and I love it. That's very wrong, Ace. He's not dead. You're wrong for that. I mean, you're wrong for that statement. When Frank comes back, he will be playing. I can guarantee it. And why do you think the Knicks didn't trade him to Orlando? Orlando had interest in the kid. They didn't trade him because the Knicks see value in him and what he does. He may not be Dennis Smith Jr. He doesn't have to be. He's going to have a role on this team. And I believe when they become a playoff team, now, listen, at one point I felt like he was going to become a good player elsewhere because he didn't play the style that Fizdale wants to play. Until Fizdale made the statement where he said, Frank is the kind of guy that is the glue guy kind of guy. And that's going to be his future on this team. So we'll see what's up. Anyway, big shout out to Hotep Rel once again. Thank you for the super chat. He said, Fizdale can't coach. He's a better assistant coach because assistant coaches has more of an intimate relationship with players. You know what? That's a pretty good point. That is a really good point because your assistant coaches, yeah, they are the ones that have the relationships with players. Your assistant coaches are the guys that take the players out to games, right? And do some things like that. Your assistant coaches really do develop that relationship. Your assistant coaches are the ones that the players go to and complain about the head coach. Your assistant coaches. You know what I mean? So El Honcho, no, I didn't see Fizz's comments on Frank today. I was kind of away, kind of having some things that I had to do. See if the video chat says maybe they seen him. I'm not sure. I didn't see him though. Another super chat, pretty irritated. Thank you for the super chat. Said, I can't stand Lance Thomas. Why is our defensive scheme switch Lance onto Blake every time, which led to a basket or a foul every single time? Also, nearly sold on DSJ, but damn, he got to hit free throws. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, he got to hit free throws. He's got to hit free throws. Give him some time. We'll see what's up. See if we can get some guys in there to work on his form and all those kind of things. And then big shout out to Ace Bezel. Said Moutier is going to get Frank's minutes. We'll see what's going to happen there. But let's not forget, Frank is going to play more than just that point guard spot. Right? And Moutier is probably not going to be here long term. It's probably going to be Frank that's here long term. Moutier is, his rookie contract is up at the end of this season. Frank is still on his rookie contract. That's just my opinion. We'll see what happens when it comes to the end of the season. But I think that Moutier, maybe he is going to be the backup point guard. He might, but Frank can play the 2 and he can play the 3. So there'll be a spot in there for him. There'll be a spot in there for him without a doubt. All right. I want to get back to the video chat real quick and ask you guys a question. Video chat. Buyout season is here. Right? Buyout season is here. And I'm going to unmute all 3 of you guys so we can have a conversation. All right. Buyout season is here. Obviously, the Knicks bought out Enes Kanter and Wesley Matthews. I'm not sure. I haven't really been able to follow everything today to see who else has been bought out, but I'm sure there's been a bevy of guys that have been bought out. My question to you guys is, the Knicks have 3 roster spots. What do? Do we simply just bring up our 2-way guys? Even if we bring up our 2-way guys, we're still going to have at least 1 spot.
All right,
what do we do? Whoever wants to start off is fine. What do we do?
So I'll give you the cap semantics about this first off, and then I'll let everyone else go from there. So there's two things. There's the luxury. There's like a hard limit for the luxury tax purposes, and then there's like a certain threshold you got to meet. So it's actually called luxury tax apron and luxury tax like threshold. Right. So right now, our current contract situation is that we have about 120 $2 million in salaries, and the luxury tax threshold is around $123.5 million, which means in layman's terms that if you go over $123.5 million of salaries, then what happens is that you start losing some of the some of those benefits you get as a team that's above the cap, and like the mid-level exceptions and stuff next summer goes down, all this other stuff. So you kind of want to stay under that $123.7 million, so you don't go over and lose some of those benefits yet.
Right.
With that said, we have 3 open roster spots right now. What I would do if I'm the Knicks is I would use the 10-day contracts as wisely as you can. Start, whether it's guys in our G League system, whether it's guys that are currently on 10-day contracts, guys like I guess a John Jenkins, for example, or he's currently the Wizards, but if he's off the 10-day contract, or anyone like those type of guys coming out the G League, try to showcase, you try them out, see what happens. Another option, because there's going to be multiple spots, or I think it's just 2 spots, whatever it is. It's 2 spots actually. So the second spot, this is the I was thinking out of the blue. Use that second spot to bring in like some sort of like old, a vet for the last 2 months. And the reason I would do this is that we got such a young team still. We got DeAndre that's mentoring, our big men, Mitchell Robinson from really. And then you got obviously Lance Thomas is the overall, like the elder statesman of the group. But I feel like our guards just need another veteran presence in a sense where they can just, they can be like a sponge in a sense. The guy doesn't have to play any minutes, but he just sits there and just, just is there as a teacher in a sense. So I feel like
some buyout names.
Jarrett Jack.
I mean, Jarrett Jack was like the perfect example last year. But any of those type of guys, if they're there in the free agent market who's willing to just hang around for 2 months just to teach these kids, that's what I would do.
Some of the names that are so-called NBA buyout candidates, where they have Wesley Matthews, Lopez, we went to go to Warriors, Wayne Ellington, Markieff Morris, Enes Kent, obviously not. Carmelo, obviously not. Michael Beasley, is expected to be waived by the Clippers. Really, when I see that might interest us is Shelvin Mack.
Yeah, I don't know. They're going to probably go on better teams, though. Like Wesley Matthews is already going to the Pacers anyway, so.
I don't want Wesley Matthews.
Yeah.
I was just saying.
No, I would say it was like an example, yeah.
And the other ones are big guys like Zach Randolph, Marcin Gortat, Greg Monroe, Ben McLemore is available, and he's been a weird guy because he's never really hit his potential from when he was drafted, but he actually was shooting 41.5% from 3, 39% from field goal shooting. And so I mean, as a space, shooting guard, 6'5", 201. I mean, it wouldn't hurt you, but I mean, he'd be another so-called reclamation project.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of tough. So I really don't see any guys really on the market to kind of fit what Vivek is talking about. Because I agree, man. I think to have a veteran point guard to come in and really just run the basics, like a Jarrett Jack, someone to kind of, I wish there were, the more the Jason kids, some of these guys who are going to become Hall of Famers, but they're on their last legs and they just want to play minutes and they could just be the sponge. Because somebody would come in and really teach DSJ, Frank, Moutier, just the basics, like awareness. One thing I saw tonight, man, with Trier on the fast break, another bad pass, attempting to go to one of the guys. It was a 3-on-1. And it's stuff like that. Like his position was off, just certain little things like that. Just reach out a guy to come in. But really, I don't see anybody on the buyout market. So it'll just be a bunch of G League guys that we kind of look at.
Okay. I'm okay with that. You know, just bringing up some G League guys or bringing up some, bringing up some guys. I mean, obviously, I'm thinking we would probably bring up our own guys first. Then that leaves like maybe one spot left. Leaves one spot left for us to, play around with. Maybe bring in a vet. Maybe kind of catch the landscape. Who does Kyrie or KD or whoever? Is there somebody out there that they are friends with? You know how they do in the NBA. You know how they do in the NBA. Clem, what do you think, man? Do we fill these spots?
Yeah, I think I think Hicks should stick.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a two-way, so he's gonna stick anyway. So
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys see in Hicks, man.
There's a couple of reports that like Viv said, they do like John Jenkins. I think he seems to have been around for a year or two. They were interested in him 2 years ago, I think, as well.
Yeah.
But again, I don't really know if someone. How old is he now? He's 30.
Who, John Jenkins?
Just someone who's going to be on the bench. Not going to get minutes because this time of the year, young players need to play.
Yeah.
But someone who can mentor and be that locker room blue guy.
I want you guys to take a listen real quick. Dennis, this is not Dennis Smith. This is Fizdale. We've been all talking about running an offense, running a team, blah, 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 blah. This is Fizdale, and let me know. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear this when I hit play. This is Fizdale speaking on Dennis Smith Jr. All right? Yeah, if you can hear this, just give me a thumbs up.
We got to the line. I think we missed a bunch of free throws in the fourth.
I take it you guys didn't hear that. All right. Well, then, I'll get back to it. I had to do some reconfiguring on my system, so I'll get back to it at some point. I had a question. Now I don't remember what my question was. Oh, the All-Star game. We got the All-Star game coming up. We got some guys there, right? We got some guys there. We got Dennis Smith Jr. is going to be in the dunk contest. Dennis Smith Jr. I believe he's in the Rising Stars game, right? Now
Yes.
we have Kevin Knox in the Rising Stars game.
Yep.
Make you more excited about? Does it make you more excited about the All-Star weekend? We're gonna have some Knicks there.
I'm not really excited I'm not really excited about it because it's like we're a 10-win team, so it's like, I mean, like I wish we were winning like an upcoming team. Is like, oh crap, let's see what the Knicks got. I'm more excited for the All-Star game itself because LeBron James drafted a bunch of guys that he is hoping that he could play with in this, after the summer comes and free agency comes. And I just love to point back at that and see how he's trying to be all like happy-go-lucky with all these guys who don't want to play with him and will not play with him. So I'm more excited for that drama. But that's what during the dunk contest should be fun. It'd be nice to see.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Okay, tell me if you heard this yet. Tell me you hear this.
Line. I think we missed a bunch of.
Okay, all right, cool.
All right,
This is David Fizdale talking about Dennis Smith Jr. Take a listen.
We got to the line. I think we missed a bunch of free throws in the fourth. And that's what ended up breaking you when you don't hit those shots, especially after you gain so much momentum fighting back. But I was really proud of the way the kids battled back and got themselves into that game.
What did you see from Dennis Smith Jr. tonight? I mean, 31 points, but it's kind of more about the way he played, getting to the line 19 times. I mean, he struggled there, but I know that's what you want to see.
Yeah, he's going to make his free throws. I'm not worried about that, but he knows how to get to that rim. He really knows how to ride team. And we just get started together, and I'm really excited for the future with him.
And the way that he was unafraid to mix things up with Blake Griffin out there tonight, he kind of brings that bruiser mentality. Is that something that this team's been missing?
Yeah, and that's the identity that we want to try to, facilitate, as a toughness, a grit. He and both and DJ bring that to us.
What happened with Noah? Oh, sorry.
Almost done.
He's fighting right now to get back to playing good basketball, and I think just sometimes it's like the rest of them. Sometimes you got to take a step back and just watch it and see where you were pressing and making mistakes and things like that. The kid's heart is in the right place. He's been great for us all year, but right now he's just hit a little bump.
I mean, that start obviously was not what you wanted. What was not happening for you guys in that first?
No stops. We weren't getting stops. You just can't spot a team that, but somehow we finally get ourselves composed, we get ourselves together, and then we dig in and we bring it all the way back. The team's got guts. We just got to figure out how to play full games. We just don't know how to do it yet.
All right, so that's David Fitz. You know what? The title on here says, that he knows. He said that he knows how to run a team. That isn't exactly what he spoke about, running a team. He kind of spoke about getting to the rim. So it's much different than actually running a team. That was David Fizdale on Dennis Smith Jr. Any reaction to that at all?
Nah, I mean, this is just what he said about every other player in different, similar words. So you can kind of take that same thing. You can look at Emmanuel Moutier's 3-point game earlier this season. It's probably the same exact quote.
Yeah.
Trey Burke's game, you can probably paraphrase it. It's the same quote. He's encouraging these guys.
That's
look,
true.
if it works, it works. I mean, it works for a point.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really change my trajectory on Fizdale. He says it to everyone. So.
That's
It's good. I don't mind it. It's better than like Larry Brown, who basically when someone had like a dunk, you're like, could he pass the ball better or whatever?
Yeah.
Larry Brown used to trash our players, but
Yeah.
Nah. I mean, look, it's good. Hopefully it'll work. I mean, clearly whatever he's doing, it's done in increments. So hey, I mean.
And here is.
I'm not gonna take it.
Go ahead, Guillermo. Go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take it at face value. He might know what this might be just window dressing, whatever. So I'm not gonna look too much into it. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm spoiled by Popovich, because Popovich will actually say stuff like that pertains to the game. Like he'll point to specifics. We let our guys, there are too many backdoor cuts. We didn't hustle on defense, and blah blah. He'll be more specific, and Popovich is up front like that. So maybe I'm spoiled, but it's like Fizdale. It's almost these things are just kind of useless. It's all right, yeah, he's just gonna say the same, Fizdale used car salesman kind of quotes, and you're just like, all right, yeah, okay, thank you. That was nice. Thank you, Fizdale. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. And I guess this is just gonna be what it is for. I guess for the next 4 years. We got this guy. We got him for the next 4 years.
Come on.
We got him. We got him for the next 4 years. Next, we're gonna take a listen to Dennis Smith Jr. And I think some of the things that he's gonna say is probably gonna endear him to Knicks fans a little bit. People in New York like guys like Dennis Smith Jr. Some of the things that he says. That they say. So just take a quick listen. This is Dennis Smith Jr. Comments on tonight.
But we should have won. I gotta make my free throws to keep us in the game. I mean, that was really big for the momentum. I believe if I would have made them, it would have kept us in the game. Our turnovers were down. We were getting good looks. We was playing solid defensively. It came down to the free throws.
Dennis, Coach was saying that he appreciates the way that you get in there and mix things up. You know, you were banging around with Blake out there. Has your style of play always been that way?
Nah, he just be flopping. That's all. He just be flopping.
As you're getting used to this team, what are you seeing or starting to see that it's going to take to help this team play consistently for 4 quarters?
Just heart. It's gotta be a lot of heart from top to bottom. Our coach has it, and I believe everybody on our staff has it. We just gotta bring that intensity every night. If we do that, I think the wins will start to pile up. Tonight, I think we brought it. It was on me. You know, I gotta make free throws. I let them down, and you know, it's just something that I can correct. You know, just some extra work, and so I still got room to grow, just like everybody else.
And watching you and Coach tonight, you know, it's cool to see the relationship that's forming between the two of you. You know, he walked with you back into the locker room at halftime. He's pulling you aside during the game. How much is it helping that he's bringing you up to speed so quickly?
A lot. He told me to keep things in perspective because, you know, everybody knows how I feel about losing, and especially whenever I could have did something to change the outcome of that. He just told me to keep it in perspective that I'm having fun playing again, and that's just the truth, you know. I am enjoying playing basketball. I'm not enjoying losing, but I'm having fun going out there and competing, and, you know, you just got to keep things like that in perspective.
Was the first quarter more what the Pistons were doing or more what you guys weren't?
What we weren't doing. We were giving them a lot of easy looks, transition layups, wide open threes. It's just intensity. We got to start the game out with the same level of intensity that we had when we took the lead back.
All right, that's Dennis Smith Jr. right there. Any comments?
I love it. I love what he said on Blake. I love what he did to Blake. I think New York, we need some of that, man. We need some of these guys being a little bit nasty, man. You can't let guys just keep running over you and flopping and, you know, making fun of you. I just wish the rest of the team had that fire, man. But I love what he said. And I mean, he's direct. Look, the first quarter, the game was right there. I mean, we did tie it up, but the Pistons set the mentality in the first quarter. I mean, those cuts, you know, Blake getting in the paint, passing to guys cutting when we had those stupid double teams or got, you know, lost or whatever. He said it right. So hopefully DSJ can kind of, you know, take that attitude and kind of push it onto the other players positively to kind of get everybody else on that attitude that, look, these games matter to us. Like, even if we're going to have a losing season, play like you care. Play like, you know, with some nasty, don't let guys just walk all over you, man, especially Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin.
I mean, look, I also like that he you know, realized that, oh, yeah, I got to make a free throw. So, you know, he's a little humble in that type of way too. Like, look, you know, I still got work to do. So, you know, that seeing that he's still hungry to get better is obviously a good sign. And, you know, hopefully we'll see more to come.
Yeah.
I think the biggest positive was the amount of times he got to the line. I think, was it Clyde said, you know, I can't remember the last Knicks player that had, you know, 20 free throws.
Last one was Billups in 2011. That made free throws.
Free throws.
Not even Melo. It's crazy.
What about
Not
Tim
even Melo.
Hardaway? What about Tim Hardaway? Didn't Tim Hardaway, what do you have, 19?
Did Tim Hardaway 19? I thought he had 18 or something.
Somewhere around there. I thought he had 18 and 19. He had a.
I read somewhere that he had the most free throws in a game since Billups in 2011.
Okay. All right. Caller. Let me get to this caller. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Yo, what's going on, Sam?
I'm chilling, man. How you feeling?
I'm good. Yo, y'all can hear me?
Yep. Can hear you. Video chat. You guys can hear him? Video chat?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Yep, they can hear you. Everybody can hear you, my man.
Yo, check it, yo. I got 3 things, yo. So first off, I'm gonna say this: Dennis Smith Jr. is gonna be in a dunk contest. He better not freaking flame out like James Flight White did. That's number one. Like, don't disrespect us like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, like, yeah, I remember that, yo, man. Yo, that was bad. That was
the worst.
Yo, number 2, man, I just want to piggyback on something you said, like with Frank, yo. If he's our glue guy, we got to treat him. Maybe he's going to be like our Bruce Bowen or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like one of those guys that he ain't going to give us a lot of points. He ain't going to do much but just play defense and occasionally hit a couple of big shots. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then,
yeah.
thirdly, I just want to say another thing, too. We've been down this road before, man, and I know AD is, like, you know what I'm saying? He is a phenomenal guy, like, you know what I mean? But I don't want us to gut the roster. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want us to gut the roster for the man when we can do one of two things. We can either say, hey, check this out, we're going to get our top pick, sign a couple of free agents, and then, you know, by next year, if you're going to be free and you want to hop along, hop on the bandwagon. If not, hey, it's all good. We just roll with what we got. But we've been down that road before. Don't gut the whole roster for the dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let him come to us. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you on that. Hey, I appreciate the call, man. Hey, I'm with you on that Dennis Smith Jr. thing, man. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, for real. Don't
can't fight white, man.
For real, bro.
I was mad excited when he was in, you know, James was in there. I was like, yeah, we about to do something.
Yeah, because he had all the dunks. He had all the dunks on
that was the only reason we signed the guy.
He was smashing.
Yeah. You got in that.
Wow.
Yo, I see. Yo,
man.
I seen him because you know he's from
call and stuff like that, man. I'm just gonna continue watching, man.
All right, I appreciate the call, bro.
For sure.
No doubt. Yo, I seen James White. I was at Six Flags with the fam, and yo, he's how tall is James White? How tall is he listed? What's he listed at?
6'7", right?
He's
like,
6'8".
6'8", right? When you go around the way, you see people, you like, yeah, he's 6'8", da da da. They say they're 6'8". Okay, you look at him, you know, maybe you're guessing. When you see these NBA guys that say that they're 6'8", 6'9", or whatever, these guys are legitimate. They look taller and lankier. Yo, I seen James White at Six Flags, and you couldn't miss him because he stood head and shoulders above the rest of everyone. I mean, you just seen this tall, lanky dude, skinny, lanky dude walking around because, you know, he's from Maryland. You know what I mean? And nobody really even knew who he was, though, for real. You know, there wasn't nobody.
You gotta watch YouTube videos to know James White.
Yeah, exactly. There was nobody trying to get autographs, nothing. He was walking with his family. Nobody paid any attention to him. They just see some tall dude walking around, man.
Yeah, it's also a blessing in disguise, man.
Yeah. All right, I got one last question before we get out of here. One last question, and I'm just remind everybody, I won't be on at all tomorrow. After tomorrow night's game, I won't be on. Maybe I try to jump on Sunday if I can, just to talk about the game a little bit. But unless it's like 3:00 in the morning, which I assume you guys wouldn't be up, and I probably won't be in the mood to do anything like that. So I won't be on tomorrow. And by the way, hit that subscribe button, shoot me a thumbs up, ring that notification bell, get a notification anytime that I go live. All right. One last question. I know Guillermo's gonna want to kick me in the teeth when I ask this question. I already know it. He's gonna want to fight me. If we get Anthony Davis, get Kyrie Irving, we get Kevin Durant.
Gonna say Carmelo.
You let Carmelo Anthony ride off in the sunset as a New York Knick. Do you do it? You sign him for the veterans minimum and let him ride off as a Knick.
No.
No, you know what I would do? I would give him like a 1-day retire contract, and maybe that there's a provision that if a player's on a team for at least 1 day or something, maybe he'll get a ring or something, and that's about it.
So you don't even let him just try to, play, get his little 15 minutes a night and try to win a championship as a player.
Nah, he can't do not at this stage.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, let's do this. Well, maybe when he goes to the Lakers, let's see how he is. If he shows any sort of he's like a reincarnated version of himself, then then we'll think about it. But if he's not, then nah.
I see a few people in the chat.
But I want to go. Listen, Flight. The Knicks only signed that guy just to win the dunk contest. That year, we signed him just so that he could participate in the dunk contest, and he failed us.
Ain't that something? So I'm looking in the chat. Look. I'm looking in the chat. There's some people that support me, guys. I see a lot of yeses. I see a couple no's.
Prince.
I see a couple no's, but I see some yeses, some yups, some yeses. You know what I'm saying? Yes to Melo. Yes. Bring back Melo. I don't know, man.
Does his jersey, the Knicks retire his jersey?
Do the Knicks retire Melo's jersey?
We had a conversation with us. I don't know if they do.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so.
They didn't do Houston, so they probably won't do his.
Yeah. Never retire Allen Houston. Wow.
Yeah. The only way that I could see the Knicks would retire his jersey is if we got KD, AD, and all them guys, and then we brought Melo back, and then he hit the last second shot to win. It was Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and he hit the last bucket to win the championship. You know what I'm saying?
Again, it depends on how they actually plan to use him, though. Like if we just want him to go ISO Melo, he's not good at that anymore. But I don't know.
He'd have to be a spot up shooter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He didn't look that comfortable doing that last couple of years.
I mean, really, it would be. He'd have to be a spot up shooter. He'd have to accept that role, I think. But I feel like if you have Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, I feel like Melo would accept that role. Maybe he wouldn't. I don't know.
I don't know. I thought he would.
I'd be for it though. What'd you say, Guillermo?
He couldn't do it with Westbrook and Paul George. He couldn't play that third fiddle. Like he said it today. He even said today that look, he knows retirement is soon. I think that let's not disturb him as he's coming to terms with his NBA mortality. Let him ride off into the sunset. There's a few more seasons of power left to go. Let him enjoy that. Get back with Lala. Let's not put it in his head. But look, Sim, New York owes him nothing. We didn't draft him.
You're right.
He's really a Baltimore guy.
Right.
We don't owe him nothing. It is fine.
Right.
Now look,
we don't owe
if he wants to be courtside, all the time, I'm cool with that too.
We don't owe him anything, but if he's if he's coming to grips with his NBA mortality, once he comes to grips with it, he goes to LA, comes to grips with it. Now he's ready to come home. Right up.
Come home.
Come home to courtside. Courtside seats at the Garden. He can be courtside. He can sit next to Dolan and Spree and all those guys. The Knick alumni tour.
This is ridiculous. This guy has done. I don't say he's done nothing, but he's not a Knick legend.
No, he's not. He's not a Knick.
I think Melo should focus on his money.
Melo is probably a cool dude. Look, like I said, I like Melo more than LeBron coming out of college, out of Syracuse into the 2002 draft. But look, Melo he's never going to change, man. That hoodie thing messed him up. That hoodie thing really messed him up because it put out a facade that he's this changed man. He's not.
I would like to see Melo in the Big Three, just for fun.
I would love to see Melo in the Big Three. I'd watch the Big Three a lot more if Melo was there. They just signed Curry, which is
I don't care. Melo would have 60 points in the Big Three.
I think I think Melo. When nobody wanted to be in New York, Melo, I think, did. I at least gotta give him that. I feel like he did.
That I give him. That's Amari, actually. Amari was the first one.
Amari too. Yep, Amari too. Amari wanted to be here. Amari came. He wanted to be here.
Hey, you know what, Sim? That's not true. Because you know why? What you said with Melo? Melo, you know, it was Stoudemire and Felton, and that squad that Donnie Walsh had that made New York look attractive again because they were winning. They weren't winning a lot, but they were winning. They were in 7, 8 seed. Then that's when Melo wanted to come. Then that's when Melo was, oh, New York, and I'm coming home, and all. Man, stop.
I really do feel like Melo always wanted to be.
Oh, now
I really did.
No, he wanted to be here, but the moment that Amari came, then he's like kind of.
This is why I say this. This is why I say this. Right? I worked in Baltimore for a while. I worked at this place, working with kids who were just coming out of jail, right? Just coming out of kid prison. And I had this big 6'8" dude who he coached Melo. He was one of Carmelo Anthony's coaches for his AAU team. And regrettably, I passed up a chance to actually be like one of the assistants on that team. So when I first came down here, I mean, I had no clue who Carmelo Anthony was. But we were in the office. He had pictures of Melo all on the wall, right? And he was like, yo, we call him the big stat sheet, and all this stuff. And he said, yo, why don't you come? Because we had a team there, and I was coaching the team. And he said, yo, why don't you come to practice? You know, one of our coaches is no longer with us. Why don't you just come, help out in practice, whatever, this, that, and so forth. But it was like an hour away from where I live. You know what I mean? So that meant that I wasn't getting home till like 10 o'clock every single night from work. And I was like, I can't do it. But he had newspaper clippings of Melo all over the office. He had, and he told me, he said, yeah, he's going to Syracuse, this and that and the other thing. And he would tell me, he likes the Knicks. I don't know why he likes the Knicks. No, because he would talk about them all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because, that was his dude. That was his guy. If you ever, the dude's name is Carlton Bub. That was his nickname, Bub. There's a documentary. It used to be a documentary on HBO where, he's in the documentary. The documentary is about guys from all over the country that go to Rucker Park to play in like this high school game, every summer. I don't know if they still do it every summer. But the documentary was about that. Carlton, he was in it. And he was talking, I don't know why he likes the Knicks. He was talking about how he came from New York and and stuff. I never really thought too much about him afterwards, right? Until about 2 years after I stopped working at that place, I was watching the McDonald's All-American game, and I was watching the slam dunk contest, and Melo won the slam dunk contest. He didn't even jump high, but he won the slam dunk contest. And I was like, oh, that's that dude. That's the dude Bub was talking about. And so yeah, I really do believe that he always wanted to be a Knick. That was his team. Even, he left Red Hook, came to Baltimore, went to Baltimore. He grew up there for 10 years. He wanted to be a Knick.
And he got his chance, and it didn't go that well outside of 1 year.
It didn't. It's not all his fault, though. Not all his fault.
This guy, Sim, gave us this 10-minute story. Like this was some heartfelt story about Melo coming.
It wasn't heartfelt.
And then the end story is that Melo still came.
It's just about him. It's just about that. Years. The story is just about that he was a Knicks fan growing up.
I know. I know.
So the Knicks are in his heart, man.
No, it's in his heart. It's just at this stage, it's probably.
You know what, Sim? Let's put out a dare to Sim. I would like for you to try your best in these next 3 months, whatever, to try to get Melo or someone connected to him on your show. And if he says yes or whatever, I will never say Melo shouldn't come back to the Knicks in some capacity. But if he rejects him, you need to come here and you need to slander his name. You need to talk about how he was how just these rich superstars, they don't care about the normal everyday people. I want to see you do that so we can just end this Melo talk, man. Because all that cool stuff, you like, yo, man, nothing but Knicks. We love you, man. Blah 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 blah. And I want to see him blow you off like, yeah. Just get somebody to sign one of your shirts or something like that. I want to see that soon.
All right, we'll see. I'm gonna try. I mean, I know the dude Carlton. He's not really in touch with him anymore, so I couldn't go through him. But yeah, you know, who knows? I don't know.
Didn't one of who was part of Melo's camp that worked for the Knicks? There's like some like personal business man, like branding person or whatever.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
That might be her best. It's like a woman or something. I forget her name. She used to work for the Knicks organization. She might be the best bet, but again, I don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
You know, I mean, he might say yes. He may.
He may. He's not coming on the show, and if he's playing for the Lakers, he's not. Most likely.
No. Right now he's in New York, isn't he? So I don't even think he's just chilling right now.
But anyway, folks, we're gonna head off, man. Why don't you guys give me your last words for the night? We just keep you guys up on the screen. Clem, we can start with you, Clem. Just give me your last words, and then about 30 seconds, last words. We're about to head off for the night.
Yeah, I think the team's a bit more entertaining to watch with some of these moves. Just looking forward to seeing Frank back. After the All-Star break, seeing some play, getting more comfortable, and let's see what happens in free agency.
All right. Yeah, man. Free agency is going to be a trip, man. It's going to be crazy.
Fun.
Viv, you want to give us your last words for the night?
Yeah, I mean, we have how many games to the All-Star break? We got 4 games to the All-Star break. This could be this 4-game stretch. We could actually win one of these games, which is kind of crazy. I just don't know. I don't know which game though. But there's a better possibility within this 4-game stretch that we'll win a game than over the rest of the season. Well, actually, I wouldn't say that. Not the rest of the season. There's a couple of chances here and there. But we're facing the Raptors tomorrow. We're facing the Cavaliers on Monday, and we're facing the Sixers Wednesday and the Hawks on Thursday, of which 2 of those games are at home and 2 of those games on the road. So it's like a weird schedule. Like we're going to be home tomorrow, second game back to back. We're going to Cleveland on Monday. We're coming back home on Wednesday, and then we're going to Atlanta on Thursday. I mean, this schedule makes no sense. We could easily lose all 4 games too, but I'm just saying, if we have a decent chance of winning, it's going to be one of these games. But, I think the main overarching lesson, the thing to, think about now is that, July 1st is a tempting time to think about, or not even July 1st, like the day of the lottery and those, like the draft or whatever. But our main focus as a team should really be over the course of this remaining season, see how players progress. So, a lot of these games leading into the All-Star break, after the All-Star break, these should be just as important just to evaluate our players and to see, who has improved, what can people improve on, and who can we keep in the future. So I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm actually looking forward to see what happens with, what are the minute allocations like? What are the rotations going to be like? I'm curious this last month and a half.
Yeah, me too. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. All right, Guillermo.
I'll be real quick, man. I like what I saw from Dennis Smith Jr. He was really efficient. I like his attitude. I like the pushing of Blake Griffin. I like New York needs that. We need that nastiness. These young kids could take a page from him and just go out and say, student language, but F it. I'm not gonna curse, but say F it and just go out there and play with some angst, man, some umph, some pride, man. I like what D brought, man. I hope he continues to do it. I hope that the free agency period and all those things looming, continues to light a fire in him. And I think some of these younger kids can take a page from that. I also hope Fizdale can actually coach and guide these guys with a little bit more than this heavy guard heavy system. But it is what it is. Happy what I saw with DSJ. We could have some better defense from these guys, but we'll just see.
All right, man. Hey guys, sorry I won't be on tomorrow, but I'll be ready for the next one. I appreciate you guys jumping on with me.
Of course, man.
Yeah, definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of the show. And as usual, I want to thank you guys for jumping on with me. As I said, I will not be on tomorrow night after the game. But we'll talk soon. I promise you that. Who knows? I may even just jump on from the little party that I'm at and just say hi, just say what's good. Hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, get a notification anytime that I go live, drop a video, anything of the sorts. Big shout out to walls.io. You see right down here, however I get to it in this video box right here, whatever, however I get to it. You see in that video box the highlights that's coming up. That's shout out to walls.io. If you want to have a social media wall on your website at your next event, check out walls.io. You'll be happy with it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gone for the night. And have a great weekend. I will talk to you very soon. Peace.